It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. And now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's showtime. Yeah, a little CP time. I'm here, straight from my barber's chair to your living room or your barber shop, your hair salon, on your smartphone, your tablet. Maybe you're waiting on a plane in the airport, at home chilling. Maybe you got me on your tablet cooking dinner or whatever you got going on. Maybe you're in the gym watching me on your phone on that treadmill, getting that cardio in. It's the Geno Jones Show. I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Okay, 6:30-ish today. Please subscribe to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. Subscribe, share, like, and binge watch all of my back episodes as I come to you live. I am checking. Got a beautiful picture today. Got the fresh haircut. Shout out to the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show, Markel Bailey, the CEO of Designer Cuts. You can check him out on Instagram. He is here in the South Carolina metro area. Goose Creek, South Carolina is a suburb of the city of Charleston and North Charleston. So you can check him out on Instagram. Kel be cutting up. Check out his work. Oh man, listen, he can do it all. All kind of, not just a barber. He's a master barber, hairstylist, whatever you need. Okay, you need some hair restoration. You need whatever you need. Whatever kind of cut. Men, women, kids, black, white, don't matter. If it's some clippers, if it's some clippers or the little scissors, he can make it happen. So check him out. Kel be cutting up. KELBECUTTINUP. So if you got the kids, you want the little fancy designs, and he can go ahead and carve your name in whatever you want. He's an artist, among other things. He's an hair artiste. So check him out on Instagram. Kel be cutting up. KELBECUTTINUP. All right, so today, I just want to start off the show. Today marks the 67th anniversary of the Montgomery bus boycott. As a matter of fact, that was really like the first major boycott that really kicked off the civil rights movement due to Sister Rosa Parks. You may remember December 1st, she got arrested because, as a matter of fact, she didn't want to sit in the back of the bus. She wasn't that her feet was tired. Because there's a great documentary. You can check it out on Peacock. It ran last night on MSNBC. I didn't get a chance to watch it. So it tells like the real story of Rosa Parks. And a lot of times, in books, they're like, she was like this little, small, meek, mild-mannered grandmother. Now, Rosa Parks was fierce. She was fierce. Back then, they called her militant because she was all about the truth, and she was fearless. She was a powerhouse in the civil rights movement, even though, unfortunately, like a lot of women, didn't get their proper shine. But it wasn't like, oh, I had a hard day at work. My feet are tired, and I don't feel like getting up. She was tired of the BS. And one of the main triggers that she addresses, I don't know if she mentions this in the documentary, but it is on record. The thing that really triggered her refusal to continue to just kind of accept this hatred and racism and bigotry and oppression was after seeing what happened to the 14-year-old kid, Emmett Till, from Chicago, who went down to visit his family, his aunt, his relatives in Money, Mississippi. And they murdered the kid. They mutilated his body. They treated him worse than you would treat an animal. And that was the catalyst for her. That was when she said enough is enough. So when they came to Rosa Parks, or some colored woman, you got to go sit in the back. This is for white people only. She was like, well, I'm paraphrasing. What I'm not going to do is get up out of this seat. Now, y'all can do what you all want to do, but today, on this day, which was December 1st, 1955, she said, what I'm not going to do is do this. And today marks the beginning of that bus boycott. 67 years ago today, the Montgomery bus boycott went for over a year. Black people in Montgomery, Alabama refused to use the bus. Now keep in mind, they didn't have Uber and Lyft. A lot of people walked to work, from work, wherever they had to go. They had some carpooling. But when we, that's what I keep saying, man, when we come together, and that's the fear. The fear is, oh my God. If brothers and sisters, people of color, not just here in America, the entire African diaspora, because this whole ideology of white supremacy and which is, it's nothing supreme about fear and ignorance and cowardice, white nationalism. And this white nationalism is global. And you know what? It's bad. It's bad for white people. And I talked about that. Because the people that's really at the top of the levers of power, racism, hate, misogyny, because hate takes all, because people that hate one hate all. People that are anti-black, usually anti-Semitic, they hate Jews, they hate Hispanic, they're anti-immigrants, any kind of immigrant from Latin America, from Africa, Central America, from the Caribbean, anti-Muslim, really anti-religious. If you're not a white, what is it here in America? The white evangelical. But now that movement is unfortunately is dominated by this white Christian racist nationalism. Their leader, Orange Hitler, who can't spell a church, and the only time he's probably been in a church is, I don't know, good question. Closest he's probably been to a church is riding by one in his limousine or something, he wants to suspend the U.S. Constitution. So now you want to suspend the Constitution and all the amendments that fall within and under the Constitution? Really? That's a dictatorship. You know who suspended the Constitution? Google Mussolini, Italian dictator, which led to a civil war in Italy around the early 1900s. Just Google it, or you can Google scholar Mussolini suspending the Italian Constitution. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. You know who else suspended their Constitution? Hitler. Like the one that Kanye is praising. Yeah. He suspended basically the German version of their Constitution. And then what did you have? You know what you had. You had fascism. You had Nazis. You had the murder of millions and millions of Jews and other people, primarily Jews. But Hitler wanted to spread that fascism and Nazism all over because he did not just like Jews. He didn't like black folks. He didn't like really anybody. There wasn't this pure white Aryan race, which he wasn't. He wasn't blonde hair and blue-eyed. His little short ass had black hair. So I guess eventually it was going to come for his ass, which is why he allegedly, supposedly, stories had committed suicide. And, there's been a lot of reports. But that's what cowards usually do in the end. They punk out. So my message is, what happened 67 years, what started 67 years ago today shows the power that we have globally. The entire African diaspora and people of color. Doesn't matter if you speak English, Spanish, if you speak Portuguese, if you speak French, if you speak whatever language you speak, if you speak Mandarin, it doesn't matter. Because people of African descent, we are all over the globe, and keep in mind, so don't take my word for it. Talk to an anthropologist, person that studies the history of humankind. Mankind as we know it, civilization, humans, began in what's now the continent of Africa. So when you hear people say that Africa is the motherland, it's not my opinion. You can Google scholar that. Google scholar that information. talk to an anthropologist and ask them about the continent of Africa, the origins of humankind. Not to mention that all the three major religions originated on what continent? Africa. Like I said, y'all don't have to take my word for it. Look, I'm an entertainer. I'm a commuter. I'm an entertainer that has my own variety show. I entertain you. I make you laugh. I'm a comedian, motivational speaker, but I do read, and I have my own commentary, and I come with facts and receipts, and you can do the same. So you don't have to take my word for it. I encourage you to read any book, some books, or search these things out yourself. Not just Google. There's something called Google. You know what Google, when you ever say Google Scholar? So when you use Google Scholar, not only does it look it up, but you'll see all the references. Well, okay, where did they get this information from? Then it's got the reference. Oh, this came from this book and this page and blah, blah, blah. I'm helping you out. I'm going to make it easy for you. As my grandfather and brother Joe Madison on Sirius XM radio on in the morning says, I'm going to put it where the goats can get it. The goats eat everything down on the ground. They eat stuff at the roots, or the roots. As old folks used to say back in the day, the roots, the root. So, just want to shout out to black people and our ancestors and what they accomplished, dealing with way more oppression than we've ever, and we're still dealing with a lot, but what they dealt with and what they accomplished. The Montgomery bus boycott in Montgomery, Alabama, that literally, I believe it bankrupted that company. It brought that company to its knees, to where eventually they would allow black people to sit anywhere on the bus because we refused to spend our dollars with a company that didn't respect our money. Something my grandmother taught me as a little boy. She said, Jeannie, don't beg nobody to take your money. Your money is as good as anybody else's money. And I want to leave you with that message today. Don't beg anybody. Don't beg nobody. According to Gene Jones, who I'm named after. Rest in peace, Paradise Mom, and Conway Jones, my grandfather. As my mother, I know, is watching me right now because he's checking in live in my chat room. You can do the same. Don't beg nobody to take your money. If people don't respect your money, they don't respect you. So you shouldn't give them the respect to spend your hard-earned money with them. They don't deserve it. Keep it in your own pocket. Keep it in your bank account. Save it, invest it. Pool the money with some other black people. Let's start building in our own community. We can gentrify our own neighborhoods. Let's move. Why don't we gentrify? Let's move back to the neighborhoods that we escaped the hood. Let's remix the hood. How about that? How about enough of us? We're going to go back and remix the hood. We're going to go back and we're going to buy a property. And we're going to clean everything up. And we're going to bring stores and partner up to get supermarkets and get together with politicians. And if not, we can do it ourselves with our own money. We can do it. You can do it. My grandfather, Conway Jones, wisest person I ever knew. Pearls of wisdom. Thousands, probably had at least thousands, tens of thousands, probably had millions. You do what you want to do when you want to do it bad enough. How bad do you want to do it? Let's build our own communities. Let's reinvest in our own neighborhoods. Let's take over our hood. Let's turn the hood into whatever we want it to be. And it absolutely, positively, we can go run out in the suburbs and these gated communities. We can build our own gated communities right there in the cities. We can turn the hoods into gated communities. But we can lift up brothers and sisters and bring, jobs and businesses. I saw today that there's talk of Apple's going to shut down, I guess, some of their manufacturing plants in China, because that's where they make the iPhones in China. Wouldn't it be cool, man, if Apple, say, Tim Cook, let me holler at you, bro. You know what would be really cool? South side of Chicago, west side of Chicago, right here north of Charleston, we got some neighborhoods. Downtown, the east side of Charleston, Bankhead, some neighborhoods, East Point in Atlanta, neighborhoods in Georgia, Crenshaw District, South Central LA, Compton, Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, Harlem, some neighborhoods in New York. Wouldn't it be cool if Tim Cook and Apple would open up some of these manufacturing plants? Shit, we spend enough money. We spend enough money buying iPhones and iPads and iWatches and every damn thing. So how about, Tim Cook, you invest in some of these communities. And while you're at it, you can invest in some of these rural towns. See, you could do what you want to do if you want to do it bad enough. So tell me what you can't do. And you could still make a profit. Now, you may not rob people, but you could make a profit. You could be, good business and being a good steward of the community. They are not, the term is mutually exclusive. So it's not like you can't have both. You don't have to have one. Having one doesn't mean that you can't have the other. You can have both if you want to. You just got to want to do it. All right. Shout out to all my people in Georgia. Election day is tomorrow, the special election. You got Senator Reverend Raphael Warnock, who is already the senator who's been in office for 2 years, and he's done an incredible job for the people of Georgia. And then you've got this jackass who wants to be a werewolf. That's all I got to say. So wherever Orange Hitler, a.k.a. Donald Trump, found Herschel Walker, after tomorrow, maybe they both can crawl back into that hole. But the way to make sure that happens is that you all, I need y'all to show up like you did for the NBA All-Star game that was in Atlanta twice in the last 20 years. As a matter of fact, the one in 2003, I was at, where they shut down the entire city, shut down the interstate, because people couldn't get around. I'm going to need you to show up like you're showing up to the NBA All-Star game or the Super Bowl when they have that in Atlanta, or the BET Awards, or the BET Hip Hop Awards. Show up like y'all show up to the Essence Festival in New Orleans. Take you some water, stand in line, take you a little food. If you see an elderly person, let the elderly people get in front of you so they don't have to stand in line so long. Because they already trying to rig it and make it harder. They only had like about a week where you could early vote. So, because the harder you make it for us to vote, when we see that, then we're going to be like, okay, we're going to show your ass. Now, as a matter of fact, 78,000 people who didn't even vote in November have already voted now. That's how we get down. When you tell us as a people, as black people, oh no. And then when we see that you are going out your way to deny us our freedom and opportunity, and you tell us when you tell us that we can't do something that we have a legal right to, okay, got you. Watch this. Y'all ready? We're going to show up and show out. 78,000 people. All you did, see, it's funny to Governor Kemp and all these MAGA cult politicians in Georgia. All you all did was really piss off black people. And the ones who, didn't show up, they're like, okay, y'all gonna do that? Okay, I wasn't gonna vote, but now just out of spite, because some folks are gonna do it just out of spite. Just because you told me and try to make it so hard for me not to vote, I'm gonna show up just to fix your ass. Fix your ass. I'm gonna just do it. I'm gonna do it because you trying to stop me from doing it. I'm going to do it just to kind of shove it, if you know what I'm saying. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you. You, and especially you. And God, most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. in Chicago, where Mary Dixon, a.k.a. my mother, is watching, 3:30 p.m. out on the West Coast. Shout out to the Lakers, to the Los Angeles Lakers. And real quick, I got a big shout I want to send out to Anthony Davis, Southside Chicago native, lives out in L.A. Listen, I've been very hard on Anthony Davis, AD, on this show, because I'm a huge Lakers fan. The only two sports teams I'm emotionally invested in are the Chicago White Sox, and I hope they got a new manager. I hope they get it together this year, and the Los Angeles Lakers. I've been a Lakers fan all the way back to Kareem and Magic, so I go way back, Kareem and Magic, and then Shaq and Kobe, and now LeBron and AD, and they won a championship in 2020. I don't give a damn if it was in a bubble. I don't care if it was in a cube. I don't care if it was on Mars or Venus or the moon. It's still a championship. But, man, AD, Sunday, 55 points, double nickel. You pulled a Michael Jordan double nickel in D.C. 55 points and 17 rebounds. That's how I want to see your ass play every game. Because you're from the south side of Chicago, and that's how we get down. So I hope that you are tired of everybody dragging you, even people like me who weren't dragging you. We were just trying to dude, there's nobody on the planet that can stop you on a basketball court. The only person that could stop you was you. And I don't know what happened. Shout out to Coach Darvin Ham. Darvin Ham, bruh, man, you have been sent from heaven, bruh, because whatever you have said and whatever you have done to Anthony Davis, keep doing it. AD, the only person that can stop you, brother. There's nobody in this league, there's no human on this earth that can stop you when you decide you want to dominate. And now you are proving it. But we got to see that every night. The true sign of greatness, you know what the true sign of greatness is? Consistency. A lot of people can be great on occasion. Some people can be great most of the time. But the true legends, the true gods are great all the time. That's your challenge, brother. Continue to step. The minute you step on that court, damn it, this is my court, and ain't nobody out here can do nothing. As Denzel's character Alonzo said in Training Day, King Kong can't do nothing. I'm paraphrasing the line. King Kong can't do nothing with me when I'm on this court. That's the attitude I'm gonna need you to have. Like Alonzo in Training Day, without the murder. We don't need that. without that violence. But that dog, that energy, that's what we want to see. Let me get out of here. All right, everybody. Next live edition, the Geno Jones Show, is going to be Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Until then, as always, be blessed. Pray for peace. Thanks for watching, everybody. Vote in Georgia tomorrow. Vote.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.